Dumelang mapara le maparagadi. The weekend is fast approaching and that can only mean one thing. Mzanzi Fundiz ifihlile mo di screening tsa hao. Ke a itse fandaga ke sounda funny nyana man wa itse di sana sitina mara ona di sana ste tlo re stopa re bolele ka bolo ya Mzanzi. As usual, ke vale manyora aka. Panel 18 dilo tsohle ka disk. Fandaga ke tshwere Lufudo le Mamphosa should be interesting this one. Gentlemen, le rent. Le sharp. All right. Well, a lot is expected this week and we've witnessed it. Derby Yama 2000, yazwakala. We saw also the draw. Yeah, Afcon. Bafana banale group sharp. Re tla bona hore ho irala. Gentlemen, let's get into this draw. Are you satisfied with the draw, the group that we have been pitted in? Who grant Lufun?
Yeah, look, for Bafana's side, I think the group it's fair. We are pitted with teams that we know very well. All the teams that we are in the group, we have played with them.
Differently, let's say buy.
Zimbabwe, our neighbors, we play with them almost every time. Egypt, we have given them a lot of trouble. I think for me, the team that we should be worried about is Angola.
Why should we be worried?
Look, Angola, it always gives us a tough time as well when we play them. Either in COSAFA games, they always give us tough time. They're a very good team. They've went through, the space where they were actually fixing their football, and they're where they are now, and they're very dangerous.
And he's mentioning Angola being dangerous. We also see Angolan talent coming into South Africa, and some of them, Manal Impact Miguel, he's a regular starter. Or unfortunately for the Orlando Pirates player, Miguel, Adala that often.
Look, I think Cox from a COSAFA region, it's very interesting because it means the region is growing as a whole. Because you see, that's the one region that's got most teams that are participating in this tournament. 7. When you then look at that, because when you then look at that, it says the region is growing as a whole. And yes, from a PSL perspective, like you say, you've got Angolan players that are coming into South Africa. That also says that the leagues are growing because you've got to give credit to what is happening here. You're looking at the Zimbabwean league. The likes of Kama Billiard are playing in those leagues. Those are the players that you're saying are big name players. But it also carries you to say, in the region, there's something that is going, that's brewing, because when you look at it, you could have quite a number of teams out of those 7 that are now in the knockout stages. And that's what we wish for, because the spread, I mean, for Group B, yes, you've got more SADC against Egypt, but you want to be able to say, in the region, there's something that's happening football-wise that is good, that you are able to then say, let's move forward. I mean, you're looking at, when you look at other groups, you look at what Botswana's doing. Those are good things. And again, those things like CAF Champions League and Confed Cup play a big part. Because last season we saw Joaneng we saw the likes of Sundowns progressing. So all those things are going to be a big part and play a huge part in the COSAFA region moving forward. Let
me stick with you. Is it not then disadvantageous for us in terms of being with people that know us? I mean, Zimbabwe got matata. But if we're an open book, basically.
But if you're going to win anything, and this day with technology and everybody being able to gather access and information with anybody else, there's never going to be a group that knows you. We may not have played against some of the teams like Egypt regularly, but trust me, there are guys behind the scene. There are guys who are technocrats who are gathering information, who plays where, who can tell you what. I mean, I saw a clip, I think it was either on YouTube or TikTok. There's somebody who says, we want to play Sundowns. And they forget South Africa, but they remember that most of the players in the South African team were Sundowns players. The Moroccans are saying, Sundowns beat us, and you're like, but it wasn't Sundowns, it was Bafana. But it tells you how much, because people consume the information. Nowadays, you've got TV, you've got online, all those things. Everybody knows you. Get comfortable. There's nothing new that you're going to present. It's just about playing in the moment and being able to tell. I mean, Nigeria, you want to tell me you don't know who Lukman is? You don't know who Osimhen is? Ghana, we don't know. They're not so.
Well, Lufuno, there was an element of Bafana being fearless in the previous edition of the Afcon. I look at Egypt and say, we beat them. Remember when we were playing against them with that Teminkosi Lodge in the very same Afcon?
Yeah.
Potentially, could we top this group? Should we go with that mentality of wanting to top the group, or redlale safe and say our aim should be to get out and risk up?
I think the spotlight will be on us again this time around. I think when we went back to Afcon, we were a bit of an unknown entity. People did not give us a chance to get where we got in terms of the position number 3. But now we go in there and the eyes will be on us, because out of all those teams that are there, we're the one that actually had the best tournament. And we came out with a bronze. So literally, for me, when I look at Egypt, I think they're in trouble because they have to play these teams from the southern side of Africa, where they play more or less similar football. And if they cannot hold themselves against South Africa, then Angola is going to give them a tough time. Zimbabwe will also give them a tough time. I think all 3 COSAFA teams stand a chance to actually go out of that group.
And Maposa, we're speaking about COSAFA and they're having the most number of national teams being in this tournament. But there's a factor that maybe we might be overlooking lightly. Most of the teams at COSAFA, they were forced to play more ground that was not even go home ground. Yeah. That change that's happening, that we're seeing, where there's standards that have to be upheld. Is it working actually in favor of these teams, because now you're playing in ground that's proper, that's supposed to be carrying out national team matches?
I think it plays a big part into that, because what you've got to give Kev credit, because it was a bold decision, because some countries were never. But now what you've got, you are now saying, we know what it's like to travel. We know what it's like to play away. Even your home game was away. So now when you play against these teams, you are in a foreign country and you are able to then face the crowd and be able to say, but you are used to the dynamics of the pitch, is the normal pitch. There's no, pitch that looks substandard or any other thing. People were playing at Loftus, people were playing at Moses Mabhida, Orlando Stadium. So when you look at all those are world-class facilities. You go to Morocco, it's world-class facilities.
All right, Lufono, 10 seconds. Coach Ramorabudi, South African being there, a South African coach is going to be at the Afcon.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Ramorabudi, he was also part of Bafana, on the
COSAFA. Yes.
So it's not getting into a space where he's not used to.
All right.
So he was in the Champions League. He knows what is at stake.
All right. Unfortunately, that's all we have for you for this segment. So do make sure we are warepa. Relax more of South African football and the continent at large. Second half, Harijiga will continue on the topic. Harbo.